So yes, Coologics is offering a platform technology addressing the 3 largest markets in OBGYN. Trying this upside down. So our first market is yeast infections, and as most women know, these are pure hell. If you're a man out there, just think of poison ivy.
Okay.
The other thing is, it's a big problem. Vaginitis of any sort is the most common reason for a woman to visit her OBGYN. There are over 62 million outbreaks for recurrent sufferers in the U.S. alone. These recurrent sufferers do not use the over-the-counter creams because they don't work. They cause terrible side effects. So besides the treatments being mostly ineffective and doing nothing for symptoms, they aren't just a nuisance. They are actually linked to very serious conditions such as increased risk of HIV acquisition, and worst of all, they're linked to preterm births. That's the number one problem in OB, so that's our third market. There's no current preventative strategies. The drug that was on the market for 10 years actually was pulled because it was a mild anti-inflammatory and basically didn't work. The reason it didn't work is because it didn't target the underlying infections that are the cause of 75% of all preterm births. We know if you use a drug to treat these infections in pregnancy, you can lower preterm births by up to 66%, but a drug can only target one infection at the time. So we would be the first preventative strategy that targets all the infectious risk factors for preterm births all at the same time: the fungus, the bacterial vaginal infection, the inflammation, the microbiome that leads to the pH, and biofilms. So this is our product, and it is the disruptor because we are the first non-drug treatment. We offer a faster treatment, a more effective treatment approaching 100%. We offer immediate symptom relief, something no drugs can do. And of course, we're drug-free, chemical-free, completely safe. So why are we almost 100% effective? It turns out we target the infection via 4 mechanisms of action compared to drugs that only use 1. We've actually proven number 1 and 2 in the human and mouse model of curing the infection by either forcing it back to dormancy or killing it, as we've confirmed in 2 cases. We do know long-standing cooling has long been known to stop inflammation and the symptoms associated. And then, of course, we have microbiological proof to support that we are not destroying the good microbiome, the lactobacillus, and that we are helping to break up biofilms, which lead to recurrence and refractory treatments. So we also have the trifecta of proof. We achieve where others fail. The drugs on the market, every one, has been studied by the same people that studied our technology, and it failed the mouse model, whereas we demonstrated statistically significant p-values. And of course, we have over 30 women in first-in-human trials demonstrating 100% effectiveness. So it's also easy to use. In fact, this is a safer and easier product to use than tampons or menstrual cups. After a few hours in the freezer, it's inserted to a tissue-safe temperature. The woman experiences immediate symptom relief, disposes of it after 30 minutes, and then she repeats the process 1 to 3 times. Surveys show that 80% of women, even those who've never had one of these, think this should be on the market. We have excellent testimonials. I won't read these for you, but so what's out there? Well, drugs are out there. OTC treatments aren't even utilized by recurrent sufferers. The prescription market used to be pretty strong 30 years ago. Fluconazole was almost 100% effective, but now it's down in the 60 to 70% range, and that's not going to get better because drug resistance doesn't go away. In fact, the latest drug came out in 2021. It's still no better than fluconazole at a 50% effectiveness, 50% side effect rate, and it's a teratogen, so it cannot be used in the women who need this drug. So our market opportunity is huge. We're addressing the 3 largest markets. Our first beachhead focus will be the prescription yeast infection drugs, and we target this just like when I was in practice. The pharma reps would come in, show me their clinical data, bring me some lunch, try to convince me to change my prescribing practice, but we will leverage the same sort of path to market, so to speak. We have a package of 4 of Bliss, and the COGS are 10. We are stress testing the payer price of $79 because 30 years ago, they were covering some topical drugs at $90. And then basically, we've talked to the FDA a couple of times. We know we are de novo. There's no predicate device, which is good for us. And we also know that we have to develop a statistical analysis plan, which we did. So our trial has been IRB approved. We're basically ready to enroll February 1st once we are funded. We expect the clinical trial to take 6 months. This is a simple condition. It requires basically 3 visits and follow-up testing, and then we would be able to submit for clearance through the FDA. And we do meet breakthrough criteria, so we may submit for that as well. We expect clearance in the first half of 2026. These financial projections are based on reaching 4% of all U.S. OBGYNs out of 27,000 in the first 3 years, and we're only expecting they would write 1 prescription per week when they see easily 5 to 10 of these conditions per week. So what are we trying to do? We have a convertible note. We have raised money on this note. $1.5 million will get us through the clinical trial and FDA clearance. We've de-risked this tremendously. We have the human and the animal data. We have 2 patents and more patents pending for other conditions such as preterm birth, fungal nail bed infections, diaper rash, and so forth. As I stated, we're ready to start the clinical trial. Our statistical analysis plan indicates we only require about 70 people. So there's plenty of strategics out there looking for innovations like this. We've had conversations with 4 of these seen on the left, 2 of which we've signed NDAs. If you look at the Organon of purchase, you will see that it was sold for $240 million, and that's in a tiny little obstetric market known as postpartum hemorrhage. You might see 1 or 2 of those a year. A very strong team, Dr. Nicole Williams and Dr. Keith Aqua are both using these in their practice, and Dr. Pritchard has been successful in getting 40 Class 2 and Class 3 devices through the FDA process. Project MedTech has been providing fractional executive leadership, and our scientific advisory board are robust. We have internationally renowned and U.S. renowned OBGYNs who have read my white paper on preterm birth prevention, and they're very excited to help me in this process. Thank you.